kankulengera weewanya okunyiga kankulindiridde luno dolutalo kuba lukoledde tumutayiza oyo sirimu omubi kondomu y'engabo kale tusambale tulina sakone laavu zakakasibwa omutalema kale n'olwekyo bambi tusambale sisirimu yekazi tasane kabotongo sako n'enziku yekuumise ddala bw'oba tomwesize yekuumise ddala bw'oba tomwesize kati kuyimuka okukala kukomye watta abazadde bange ne baganda bange ab'engando batutte fenna tuliddayo kale keekadde naawe osikemu guno muliro teri kuzikiza guno muliro teri kuzikiza
abavubuka ebisanga zikyuse enjaba ku mumwa amafuta g'ennyonyi saakamba irungi ng'oliyita soda kumbe eweziika
ate mwe abawala mwagadde okuwula sente ez'amangu zibayolesa zino outingi zimatifoni sente ozeetaaze weegabyeegabye sirimu akuteeze ate abaliriko bambi tolireka endwadde kyaliyo nnyo ate tulengera katwere twamuziika yava ku ddagala kale n'olwekyo bambi twekembe eneepoya mwoyo gwa ggwanga gwa bannamukadde abavubuka era ogw'abato fenno twasalawo endwadde tugiryewo tuyise mu kuwulira n'okumanyisa n'olwekyo keyazi baba tweyanze otutangaziza otuluŋŋamiza saako n'obujjanjabi Michael Weston ne patroni waffe be balengera ewala ne batumanyisa munna abakawuka tuli ba mugaso weewale nnyo keyazi okutukuza kusamba mpiira na kapiira mwewale abaze naffe tubatuuse twogera sirimu tumwewaze tutyaffe sirimu omugonza leke kuginyweza kondomu ginyweze ye n'ejuna ekikweno kondomu ekuyamba nnyo abateesigaŋŋana kondomu teweekakasa muno neekako temunneekebeza kondomu oli omubuusabuusa neekako oyo akalina si musango naye teyagala togeyanga kino si kyomu teweeyibaala atamanyi muyamba akimanye yeekebeza amanye watudde wazuula talina muyambeko yeekuuma akimanye muyambeko munne ng'akalina tamwewala babeere basanyufu ne kondomu basobozese bulungi bakuutire ate bakuutire bafune eggezi bafune omusawo ababuulire Uganda keyazi okusiimira omulimu omulungi gwe mukola bannaffe mwebale mweyongere bannaffe mwebale mweyongere batumalirize naki kino akalina si musango tamusongako muyambe amire eddagala mu budde bwe ate okwegatanga ne kondomu kitase munne bafune tasiigibwa olutalo olwaffe luwedde olw'akapiira lwe lukoledde mugende mugamba atawulidde nti bali bannaffe boogedde kusamba mpiira na kapiira lwe tunaakakanya nno oluyiira tusiibwe tugenda nno mutwebaze natubasomeseza nnyo mutwebaze muteeke mukola byonna bye musomye
ate amanyamanyisa oli amatumale
akadde tekatudde ekirefe kikutudde omukama leeramwe
okuva edda n'edda eryo lyonna n'eggwanga Buganda lyamanyibwa nnyo eggwanga lyaffe kwetooloola ensi zonna teesiimye nnyo twesimye nnyo olwa Buganda yaffe, ekitiibwa kya Buganda tava dda, naffe tukikuumenga.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, we are gathered here today as a nation under the leadership of His Excellency, the Vice President, to commemorate World AIDS Day under the theme, empowering young people to champion the end of new HIV infections. Loving Father, you show yourself to those who are without help and make your home with the poor and weak of this world. Warm our hearts with the light of your Spirit, that we may accept the challenges of HIV/AIDS. Strengthen those who care for the sick, enlighten those doing research, protect the healthy, calm the frightened, encourage those in pain, comfort the dying, and come to the assistance of most especially the youth of this country to take life seriously and join the leaders of this nation, especially those of the Ministry of Health, to fight in order to bring an end to the spread of HIV/AIDS. God will lift up all those suffering from HIV and AIDS. Bring your healing and restoration to their bodies. Help us to do our part in ministering love, care, support, and patience for your people who suffer with HIV and AIDS. Lead us to do whatever it will take to eradicate this illness from the lives of those who are touched by it, both directly and indirectly. Trusting in you and the strength of your Spirit, we pray and ask all these in the name of Jesus Christ the Lord. Amen.
بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين يا الله تزوانو تكونغاني urokwegayirira n'okusaba okendeeza obusungu bwo owonye endwadde gye waleeta mu nsi muno eyitibwa siriimu, erinnya lye twayiya obuyiiya naye nga mbutuufu tewali amanyi ndwadde eyo linnya lyayo ettuufu. Ya Allah, tukumanyi oyogera mu Qur'ani ey'ekitiibwa ng'ogamba bw'oti munibiina ilayi, abantu bagondera Katonda bwe babanga bafunye ekizibu. Thumma idha adhaqahum rahma, naye Mungu baba abawonyezza bamwerabira. Munibiina ilayhi, bwe babanga balwadde bakkakkana bagonda bakaaba beegayirira, ayi Katonda tutaase, Katonda n'ataasa. Fa idha massahum rahmatan minna, naye Mungu agamba bwe mba mbawonyezza ne mbaleeta emirembe, idha hum yaknatun, ogenda okulaba nga ate banvuddeko nga basinza birala nga bagamba tekiba kuba gundi kitwandiwonye. Nedda banne mbategeeza Allah w'ekitiibwa bino betulwala buli mwaka, Katonda Mukama w'ekitiibwa endwadde zino naddala abasawo muwulirize, kubanga bulwadde bujja ne mubonaabona ne muyiiya ne mubutuuma amannya nga bwe mulabye nga bwe mwagamba siriimu. Naye Katonda w'ekitiibwa nga tubijja ku nnabbi waffe w'ekitiibwa agamba bw'ati, buli mwaka gwonna endwadde Mukama assa endwadde 18,000. Abasawo mwetegereze, buli mwaka gwonna endwadde ezikwa okuva mu ggulu ziri 18,000. Waliwo omwezi baguyita Sufuru, gwina olwokusatu olusembayo, kwolwo Mukama Katonda assa endwadde 34,000. Bw'ogatta endwadde zonna zibeera 52,000. Endwadde bw'ebezze ogenda okulaba nga abantu nga bagamba waliwo ekirwadde ekyazze naye bakyanoonyereza nga batuuma erinnya biva mu ggulu, naye mbajjukiza okudda eri Katonda assa endwadde ezo, kubanga Mukama Katonda bwe yakola omuntu yatonda ekire nga kyeru tukutuku nga kiringa ng'olugoye olweru, n'akiragira nkitonnya enkuba kaseera buseera. N'atondayo ekire ekiddugavu zikizikizi tekinoonya enkuba yatonyanga eva mu kiro ekyeru yali ya mikisa, enkuba yatonyanga eva mu kiro ekiddugavu yali ya bizibu, yatonya emyaka 300. N'olw'ensonga eyo ng'amala ebigambo byange mbategeereza bantudde eri Katonda, ate era sijja kuvaawo. Mutabanyi wange ono kuba ndi muladdemu kwalina obugambo agenda okwogera, naye nga tusaba tulongose emitima gyaffe, tusabire eggwanga lyaffe etteekateeka bwe riti, tusabire abaana baffe Mukama bataase, bakyala baffe Mungu bataase, baganda baffe Mungu bataase, President Mungu amutaase, baminisita Mungu bataase, bahonorable Mungu bataase, abamagye Mungu bataase, bapoliisi Mungu bataase, abaprisona Mungu bataase, abantu bonna beekayunga n'eggwanga. Mungu ya Allah tuwonye siriimu olw'ekisa kye ekinene nnyo. Wasallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi wasallam.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rrajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Gani munga tuzali juno kadhi kureta mkono a Sheikh Abdul Nur Kakande kuno kwe kusaba kwe masha Allah so kwebaza Mukama Katonda atuwadde obulamu obulungi n'atutuusa ku nnaku kuno olwaleero nga tukyali balamu. Tumwebaza nti alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Twebaza Mukama Katonda omulungi atutambuliza omugenyi waffe omukulu n'amujja gy'amujje mu mayenga amangi ennyo n'amutuusa wano we tuli mu mirembe. Tusaba Mukama Katonda ayongere okumusaako ekisa kye n'emirembe gye, amutukuumire ebbanga lyagenda okumala naffe, amuwangaaze ng'ali mirembe. Nyongera okusabira President wa Uganda eno His Eminence Yoweri Kaguta Museveni kuŋŋaanye mu kisaawe wano mu maziga amangi mu nnaku ennyingi olw'abataata baffe abaatuvaako olw'endwadde ya siriimu, bamaama baffe abaatuvaako olw'endwadde ya siriimu, otukendeereze ku busungu bwo. Amin.
You are welcome to the district, Kayunga District. We want to have brief remarks from the LOC5 chairperson.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to this important function as we commemorate the National World AIDS Day 2019. It is another important opportunity for us to join hands and remember our people who have gone and remind ourselves that even though tremendous progress has been made in the fight against AIDS, the battle is far from over. World AIDS Day commemoration first began in 1988, and since then it's being observed around the world. I'm glad that this year it is being commemorated in Kayunga District, which has offered us an opportunity as a district to receive and benefit from vital HIV information and services. I want to thank our beloved President for the political commitment and leadership towards the noble cause by personally leading the nation against the scourge of AIDS. We want to thank the government of Uganda and the implementing partners for availing free HIV and AIDS treatment that has enabled our people living with HIV/AIDS to get better access to HIV treatment regardless of their income, religion, gender, or nationality, unlike in the past, whereby it was only the well-off who could afford the drugs. We want to thank Your Excellency for the strong leadership and the courage that has attracted partners in Uganda to fight against the epidemic. And this has reduced the number of orphans and improved the quality of lives of the people living with HIV/AIDS, which has helped to increase the spirit of hope, with thousands of people returning to normal, productive lives and fulfilling their goals. Kayunga District was selected to host this year's national celebration due to the HIV prevalence currently at 7.3%. And most of the risk population include the fish folks and migrant workers. In regard to HIV prevalence, almost 2,002 people were found to have new HIV infections, 1,564 have been enrolled on antiretroviral treatment, and 438 are not yet on treatment. We also want to thank the program, which is commonly known as PMTCT, Elimination of Mother-to-Child Transmission of HIV, which has been vital in the fight against new HIV infections, especially amongst young people in the district. We have so far enrolled 753 mothers and their positive babies, who are 28 in number, and this program is moving on very well. As a nation, the theme of this year is empowering young people to champion the end of new HIV infections. It is focusing on young people as an important section of the community who also comprise majority of the district population. According to the National Population and House Census 2014, Kayunga District has a total population of 370,000 people. Out of these, 69,000 are youth, and 213,000 are below 17 years. I'm glad to mention that our government, through various economic empowerment interventions like Youth Livelihood Program, UEP, PCA, CDD, special grants for PWD, is economically empowering the youth to harness their socio-economic potential, increase self-employment opportunities, and income levels. We have provided financial support to 207 individual projects, whereby 1.5 billion shillings has been provided to young people under the YLP, and 529 million has been provided to the women. We want to thank the government for providing free primary, secondary, and tertiary education to the young people, which has enabled them to stay long in the school instead of going for other marriages. And also the education they have acquired has enabled them to be economically and socially independent. With this support, the young people are playing a massive role in supporting and keeping their members alive, especially their parents, through saving their lives, because health is wealth. When they are healthy, they are productive. I want to commend the efforts of central government, different AIDS implementing partners, for generously contributing to the district's AIDS response initiatives. I also want to thank everybody who has participated in making this function a success, particularly Uganda AIDS Commission, AIDS implementing partners, political leaders, the Resident Institutes Commissioner, security team, the district technical team, the companies, the financial institutions, and the community. Finally, I would like to call upon the young people to join the government and volunteer partners towards having zero new infections, zero deaths through HIV-related diseases, as the national theme of this year states, for God and my country. Thank you.
At this moment, we would love to hear a statement from the Interreligious Council of Uganda.
Interreligious Council of Uganda, Religions for Peace. A statement of the Interreligious Council of Uganda on the commemoration of World AIDS Day, date 1st December 2019. Theme, empowering younger people to champion the end of new HIV infections. Busana Sub-County, Busana Church of Uganda Primary School, Kayunga District. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, the Honorable Ministers here present, the Honorable Members of Parliament present, the AIDS Development Partners present, esteemed religious and cultural leaders here present, the Chairman, Uganda AIDS Commission, district leaders, civil societies, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Guest of honor, I bring you greetings from the Interreligious Council of Uganda, the body that unites us to effectively respond to HIV and AIDS, as well as other matters of common concern to all of us. As we commit to ensure a healthy nation, we acknowledge HIV and AIDS as one of the greatest threats to human well-being in modern times. Many of our brothers and sisters, including religious leaders, have died from this disease, and many have been directly or indirectly affected. We therefore need to examine ourselves to see if we are walking in accordance with our faith, values, and beliefs. Therefore, this year, considering our calling and the immense spiritual and social resources that are at our disposal, we pray and commit our efforts to work harder to build a Uganda that is secure and stable, healthy, harmonious, caring, and prosperous, and God-fearing. Our message, our concern, as your spiritual leaders, we are here to remind you again that current evidence shows that HIV has not gone away. This evidence, which carry untold stories of loss, pain, and incredible hardship, are unacceptable and demand a faithful and sustained response. Our efforts in fighting HIV and AIDS has resulted in reducing the number of people living with HIV from 18 out of every 100 individuals in 1990 to 6 out of every 100 people to date. However, this is still too high, your guest of honor. But sadly, the social, cultural, and economic factors, including low socioeconomic status of women, gender-based violence, alcohol and drug abuse, general moral decay, and community and leadership compliances continue to drive HIV transmission, especially among adolescent girls and younger women. A substantial number of men are not aware of their HIV status. I want to repeat this to emphasize it. A substantial number of men are not aware of their HIV status. Many whose HIV status is known to be positive are not on ARVs, your guest of honor. And yet these men engage in sexual partnerships with many women. We thank the women for their excellent health care seeking behaviors. Consequently, adult HIV positive men who are not taking ARVs are causing new HIV infections, especially among younger girls, but also likely to die of HIV-related illnesses. Men are therefore dying more due to HIV-related illness due to their poor health-seeking behaviors. Our younger girls are now the face of new HIV infections due to their high vulnerabilities. We have become complacent about the threat of the disease and started engaging in transactional and premarital sex, alcohol, drug abuse, gender-based violence, hence viewing HIV and AIDS as less alarming today than 30 or 35 years ago. Brothers and sisters, our country has made a commitment to end AIDS as a public health threat by 2030. As a Council of IRCU, together with our like-minded partners and all people of goodwill, we are compelled to contribute to end AIDS by 2030. For us, this means supporting people and communities living with or vulnerable to HIV every day, every month, every year, until AIDS has been overcome. Brothers and sisters,
The HIV epidemic is now in its 40th year. We as religious leaders state that AIDS challenges us at all levels to be the leaders in deed and in truth, to be the faith institutions as a healing community. Our commitment and call to action. As people of faith, we are all called by God to facilitate life for all God's people. We are compelled by our commitment to God and God's people to heed these calls. HIV and AIDS cannot therefore stand ground in the face of resolute faith community leadership. On our journey to end AIDS as a public health threat, we call upon all people of God, government, development partners, and the people of goodwill to do as follows. To religious leaders, partners, and government. 1, let us at all levels act as champions in our faith constituencies to mobilize communities, especially men, not to engage in risky behaviors, such as multiple sexual partnerships, gender-based violence, drug and alcohol abuse. 2, let us utilize our structures and leadership to mobilize communities for uptake of HIV services. 3, let us create an enabling environment for our children in our places of worship and communities where people can feel welcomed, protected, affirmed, and accepted. 4, let us form partnerships to jointly offer pastoral, spiritual care and guide people on where to get services. Let us speak out against stigma and discrimination, including GBV, at every level of society, including our faith institutions. Let us also ensure that informational campaigns for preventing HIV and AIDS remains within our ethical, social norms and cherished values. Let us utilize our privileged positions to encourage communities to embrace progressive social norms to ensure we end AIDS by 2030. Let us all involve people that are living with HIV in decision-making, not as a problem, but as part of the solution, and allow them to live their lives as normally as they can and preserve their confidentiality. Hold ourselves accountable to the commitment made towards eliminating AIDS. Brothers and sisters, we are all called to bear witness to the harsh reality that without comprehensively addressing this challenge, all of us will suffer illness and death. Our mission as faith communities compels us to work together to ensure that all may flourish. Your guests of honor and the people of God listening to us, as your leaders, we call upon all of you to act as beacons of life, hope, and meaning, even in difficult situations. Let us all pray that regardless of our status, we will love and support our neighbors living with HIV. Let us pray for God's help to refrain from offering words against those living affected by HIV. Let us pray for God's help to encourage one another with words and actions which offer solace that alleviates our shared pain. For God and my country, signed by His Eminence, Sheikh Jaban Ramadan Mubaje, Grand Mufti of Uganda, Chairperson, Council of Presidents, for and on behalf of the Interreligious Council of Uganda.
Now I'm calling upon the statement from the representative of people living with HIV.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Taliba Zainab, Miss Y Plus Northern Uganda, 2019-2020. I'm 19 years and I'm living a positive life. I'm here to present a statement from people living with HIV. We people living with HIV join the rest of the world to commemorate and raise awareness about HIV epidemic, take stock of achievements, and rededicate ourselves to fight against the epidemic. As people living with HIV, we appreciate the various stakeholders for the services redundant to make our lives better. For instance, stockouts have reduced, number of people on earth has increased, differentiated service delivery models that have brought services closer to people living with HIV, introduction of TB preventive therapy, among others. We also thank you for the effort at re-engaging the response through the Presidential Fact Sheet Initiative to end AIDS as a public health threat by 2030. In regard to the 2019 global theme of communities make that difference, and national theme of engaging young people to champion the end of new HIV infections. We need to address number of gaps to ensure that people living with HIV can access timely services in order to live a quality and productive life. Massive awareness on emerging issues in HIV management, for example, on new drugs like DTG and TB preventive therapy, pass out of septrin, advanced HIV disease, among others. To enable acceptance and roll out, people living with HIV should be supported to follow up and support their peers. Viral load suppression should be critical on other agenda, as is part of closing the tap on our new infections. Integration of HIV services with sexual and reproductive health services so that young people can access those services from one center. Address stigma and discrimination. According to the 2019 National People Living with HIV Stigma Index report, there is more internal stigma than external stigma. For instance, out of 1,398 respondents, 36% find it difficult to disclose their HIV status. 21.32% are ashamed that they are HIV positive, while 32% hide their status from others. The young people living with HIV status index report 2017 also indicates that 59.6% of young people feel ashamed that they are living with HIV. 18.4% blame themselves and 24.4% have low self-esteem. Therefore, stigma reduction intervention should have people living with HIV at the center, including directing a specific fund from stigma reduction programs. The National HIV Stigma and Discrimination Policy should be rolled out to guide the various stakeholders in the multi-sectoral response. Establish and strengthen youth-friendly corners at health facilities where the young people can be free to share experiences and also receive psychosocial support. Address shock and adherence gaps associated with test and treat. It is a good program, but we are also losing people because they are not adequately prepared to start on art. There is need to reconsider pre-art counseling sessions and also attach treatment support agents or bodies. Programming for vulnerable groups of people living with HIV, like children, adolescents, young people, women, key populations, as well as people with disabilities, should be specific so that tailored intervention can be designed. Ensure commodity security as part of addressing supply chain gaps for art and related commodities for effective treatment outcomes. Stockouts greatly contribute to drug resistance, which is more expensive to treat and eventually increases AIDS-related deaths. Decriminalization of HIV transmission. Cases that have been reported in media have rendered intervention counterproductive, as criminalization drives the epidemic underground. The consequences of people living with HIV appears for virally suppressed HIV nation under the basic tenets of the UNX 1990 targets, as well as full respect of rights of people living with HIV. Treatment literacy programs must be revamped by all service providers if viral loss suppression is to be realized as we aim at ending AIDS by 2030. As I conclude my statement, I call upon fellow people living with HIV to take medication religiously to suppress viral load and make the vision of having an AIDS-free generation possible. Together for a positive difference. Peers making it happen.
Thank you very much, my dear friends living with HIV. I think the message is re-engagement in all activities. I would love to call upon the next speaker, who is the remarks from AIDS Development Partners.
His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, Honourable Ministers of the Presidency, Honourable Minister for Health, Honourable Members of Parliament, the Uganda AIDS Commission, ambassadors, heads of mission, development partners, heads of UN agencies, the religious and cultural leaders, CSOs and other key stakeholders, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Warm greetings to you all today. It is a pleasure to be here on this very important day. Your Excellency, I stand here to represent the AIDS Development Partners as the current chair and to join the rest of Uganda to commemorate this significant day in the 3 decades history of HIV/AIDS in Uganda. Both the global theme, Communities Make the Difference, and the Ugandan national team, engaging young people to champion the end of new HIV infections, points us in the right direction. At this important event, they point us towards the importance of leadership at all levels and speak to sustainable development goals with the slogan, "Leave no one behind." Your Excellency, let me start by appreciating the inspirational leadership of the President and the strong commitment of the government, and also by the Ugandan AIDS Commission and the Ministry of Health, for focusing on young people this year, who comprise the majority of the Ugandan population. On behalf of the AIDS development partners, we applaud and acknowledge the significant progress in fighting the HIV epidemic over the last 3 decades. As we begin to see the horizon of epidemic control, it is a time of hope, but we also must be vigilant against complacency. It is important that our annual World AIDS Day continues to be commemorated, as 2018 registered 53,000 new infections and 23,000 deaths. Women and young people in particular continue to be disproportionately affected, and this threatens the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals and the socio-economic transformation of Uganda. So on this important day, please let me share, if I may, some key messages and calls for actions. Firstly, we must also maintain and increase our focus on primary HIV prevention. With over 1,000 new infections in Uganda every week, primary prevention remains key. There is a need to continue implementing the combination HIV/AIDS prevention strategy while continuing to advance biomedical response. We must support the high-impact strategies and biomedical interventions alongside concerted efforts to address socio-cultural barriers. Among these, we note the challenge remaining due to gender-based violence, teenage pregnancies, forced and early marriages, and increased alcohol consumption. We must also ensure zero stigma and discrimination in the society and in the workplace with key populations, and scale up support for ready access to HIV prevention, including condoms and pre-exposure prophylaxis for the key groups most at risk. Secondly, there are many drivers of the epidemic which require us to have a comprehensive, multidimensional response. For example, we must work together to ensure children and adolescents, especially girls, remain in school as a major HIV prevention intervention. Key drivers of the epidemic lie beyond health. The Ugandan AIDS Commission is a key partner that reminds us of the need for a multi-sectoral response to reach zero infections. Thirdly, sustainable investment in HIV response. Approximately 80% of Uganda's HIV/AIDS response is externally funded, posing a major sustainability challenge. Domestic resource mobilization is key going forward, and I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the government on having significantly increased the allocation of domestic funds by providing an additional $13 million, that's 15 million Ugandan shillings, for ARV treatment in the coming financial year. Together, we need to work with the government of Uganda to find more sustainable strategies to invest in the HIV/AIDS response. This means mobilizing additional domestic and external funding, but also seeking efficiencies in the use of our current funding. This means we need to ensure better integration of services between HIV and SRHR and health systems more broadly. This is necessary not only from an economic point of view, but also from a practical one, to ensure holistic treatment of persons, because health systems are the foundation of all service delivery, prevention, health promotion, and treatment. The HIV response cannot be delivered without strong health and community systems. And I am delighted to be with the communities of Kayunga here today. At the community level, we must improve referrals from community to facilities and to ensure follow-up of mothers to ensure elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV. And finally, to recall today's theme, engaging young people to champion the end of new HIV infections, we must get together at reaching the youth. In a country where almost 80% of the population is under 30, many have not witnessed the devastation and scale of HIV at its worst before ARVs become available, and so many lost peers, colleagues, and indeed family members. It is this demographic that we need to focus on. This means adapting our messaging and channeling of communication, using social media and speaking their language. If young people are empowered as agents of change, especially as we saw from the speech just given just before, a fantastic speech. So if young people are empowered as agents of change, they will champion the end of HIV infections. To achieve this, adolescents in Uganda must be able to access timely and quality information about reproductive health and HIV to inform healthy choices as they transition to adulthood. And to conclude, Your Excellency, 1,000 new infections and 500 deaths every week remind us of the work we still have to do. And we ask you to maintain your inspiring leadership through the Presidential Fast Track Initiative to accompany us on the last mile and get Uganda to 0 new infections by 2030. On behalf of the AIDS Development Partner, let me recall that we remain committed to working in partnership with you and with the government of Uganda to end the AIDS HIV epidemic in Uganda and reach 0 infection by 2030.
At this moment, I'm calling upon Mr. Abe Mukibi to first take us through People's Space. People's Space. Mr. Abe Mukibi.
Your Excellency, my name is Abe Mukibi, and I will be taking you through the People's Space. I'll be interacting with the young ones here on their involvement and championing to end the new HIV infections. For the benefit of the local community, we'll be speaking in Luganda and also English for those who can. I'll kindly ask anybody near somebody who does not understand Luganda to kindly do the interpretation. Omulimu gwange mutono nnyo kutuuza abantu bano abalenzi n'abawala bano batubuulire balina obulwadde bwa AIDS batambudde nabo batya obuwuka bwa akawuka ka AIDS batambula nako batya. Omwami asooka ye Kimeze Samuel, olina emyaka emeka? Olina emyaka emeka?
Nina emyaka 25.
Oli mufumbo?
Yes sir.
Status ye eriki?
Ndi HIV positive, nina akawuka ka mukenenya.
Olina akawuka, nsaba ku microphone eno bajongereko. Olina akawuka ka mukenenya?
Yes sir.
Mukyala waate?
Omukyala yenga ye talina akawuka ka mukenenya.
Kati mubeerawo mutya?
So tubeerawo mu kuyita mu ngeri ey'okukozesa eddagala eriziyiza okufuna akawuka ka mukenenya. So muzungu kyayita PrEP.
Nsonga ki evuddeyo okubuulira abantu bano nti obulwadde obulina muli ba discordant couple n'omukyala?
Ensonga enviisizaayo kubanga njogerako eri abantu bonna, ensonga eno ekwatagana n'abavubuka abali mu myaka gyange. So kino essira wensinga odditeeka nti abavubuka ngaffe okuva ku myaka 18 mpaka ku myaka nga 29 tetwekkiririzaamu mu mbeera ya bulijjo mu nsonga ez'obufumbo. Ffe tumanyi kimu nti omuntu okubeerawo mu bufumbo alina okuba nga alina mwagalwa we oyo alina akawuka ka mukenenya, oba sinakindi ng'oyo atalina nga naye abeera n'oyo atalina akawuka kaki.
Naye gwe olina?
So naye nze nina
akawuka ate omukyala talina?
Yes, akawuka naye omukyala talina.
Abantu tebababoola?
Abantu kino kyaliwo kale nga nkyali muto naye ku stage eno gyendiko ey'obufumbo oba ey'okwagalana, so sinakulabako batuyisa mu maaso mu ngeri eyo okuggyako eri abo abamanyi nga nze nti nkayina awo bendaba, naye aze kapo sitaba kifunako sebo.
Mulina abaana?
Yesebo tulinayo omwana omu twamufuna mu mwezi gwa 4 omwaka guno.
Embeera y'ebyobulamu bw'omwana?
So mulamu omwana nga ye talina kawuka ye mulamu.
Tweyanziza sebo. Your Excellency, the next young gentleman is called Martin Nwamanya. He's a chemical engineer. How old are you?
I'm 25 years.
And what's your status?
I'm HIV positive.
Aina myaka 25 aina akawuka akasirimu. Wakafu wamanya otya, how did you come to know you are HIV positive?
I was disclosed to by a counselor when I was in my S2, though I was born with the virus.
Yazalibwa aina akawuka, counselor yambulira aina emyaka 2. Lwaki amanya ali mu senior 2, sorry. Wavaawo otya okujja kyekikulese publicly okwogera ku AIDS? Why have you come out publicly to declare you're HIV positive?
Ekindeesa basically nzize kulaga abavubuka bannange nti dreams zaabwe zikyali valid. Osobola okubeera kyonna kyoyagala okubeera kuba wenategerera status yange kyamala munyana amaanyi naye nagenda okulaba nga byenjagala okutuukiriza nali njagala kubeera mu sayansa era nenfuna amaanyi agakola chemical engineering nenjimalawo. Yes.
Society tekuboola?
Yes, kwokuboola kubaawo.
Government okigamba ki?
Government bw'otunuulira obutambi myaka 3 emabega wetwali si wetuli kati. So government yonjeebaza okuteekawo eddagala, stockouts zo tezikyaliwo nnyo, ne prep ne zino research ze batera okukola. Ebyo byonna bituyamba okuziyiza omukenenya by 2030 nsuubira. Mukenenya tujja kuba tulumulanyisiza.
Ne Martin, nga bweyongera ati? Lwaki obulwadde bweyongera ddala mu bavubuka?
Mu bavubuka, just anti engombo z'abavubuka bino bye bagamba sigenda kufanzeka bintu bwe bityo, then n'obutamira ddagala abasinga baba balowooza nti bali bokka ate nga tuli bangi. So ffe tuvaayo okubawa ekyokulabirako nti osobola okusoma n'omala n'otandika ne family.
Olina plan ez'omu maaso?
Yes, zo nziina nyingi. Njagala kusoma masters, nkole ne PhD if possible, tandike ne family yange.
Seba amanyago?
Amanya nze Mayengo Bruno.
Olina emyaka emeka Mayengo Bruno?
Nina emyaka 22.
Status ye eriki?
Ndi HIV positive.
Wamanya otya nti olina akawuka aka siriimu?
Namanya nga nina emyaka 10 newankubadde akawuka kano nazaalibwa nako naye nategeera nina emyaka 10.
Kizibu ki ky'osinga okusanga ku mbeera yo eyo ey'okuba nti olina akawuka ka siriimu?
Ekizibu kye nsinga okusanga ekisookera ddala abantu bano entunuulira gye batutunuulira nti yenna ali ku ddagala aba agenda kufa, kintu ekyamazima ng'omu kiba kinyigiriza. Mba ndabanga abanga anfumita amaggwa so nga ate si kituufu. Okubeera ku ddagala tekitegeeza nti mba ngenda kufa, nange mba nninga omuntu omulala yenna kuba nange omukka gwassa gwe mbeera nzisa. Ebikolwa by'abakola buli kimu ky'abakola kye mba nkola, so siraba lwaki mbeera nsosolwa. Nsobodde okukivuunuka mu ngeri eno wamange. Ekisooka nasooka nenzikiriza nti ddala yenzi nina akawuka ka mukenenya tekagenda kuvaawo, ekyenina okukola kumira ddagala nsobole okukawangula keebake. Omuntu yenna nga wandaba tasobola kukkiriza nti nkayina, era kinnyambye nnyo bwe nekkiririzaamu nentambuza obulamu bwange nemmira eddagala nga walina okulimira neŋŋondera amateeka g'abasawo nembanga n'obulamu bwange sibubeezaawo nti muntu kumulaga nnyo nti banaye akawuka ka mukenenya ak'amaanyi kansinziza amaanyi no, nembeera mu bulamu nga kizibu okubutegeera.
Mayengo, mu bigambo byo ebitono nga bw'osobola buulirira abavubuka abali wano ku bubi oba okwewala obulwadde bwa siriimu.
Ekisookera ddala eriyo ngenda sooka njogere ku nnyukuta zino 3. Esooka ye leeta ye abstain. Bw'obanga ekiseera kyo tekinnatuuka sooka byewale kuba engeri esinga ennyo ennene ennyo ne basanasayansi gye batunuulidde esinga otambuza akawuka ka mukenenya esinga kuyitira mu kwegatta. Naye obeera weekuumye n'ogamba ekiseera tekinnaba kutuuka sijja kwegatta, engeri yesookera ddala n'omala otuukiriza ebirooto byo. Engeri endala gw'alina omwagalwa ng'omanyi nti nina omwagalwa wange. Okubeera n'abaagalwa abangi si kirungi. Beera mwesimbu eri omwagalwa wo, bawasalawo kulonda omu beera naye. ate gwe alaba nga bino byonna tosobola kubigumiikiriza, kyenkusaba muganda wange kozesa akapiira mu ngeri ennambulukufu kuba kintu kikulu nnyo, naye mu byonna genda weekebeze omanye obulamu bwe buyimiridde, then otandika okubudifendinga. Gwali ku ddagala limire, gwatali ku ddagala weekuumire omwo.
Tweyanziza nnyo, tweyanzege. Your Excellency, tugenda kumaliza n'omukyala Bena Naluoga. She's 26 years old. Bena is a lab technologist. Oyina emyaka emeka mu Luganda?
26.
Status ye eriki?
HIV negative.
How do you feel? How have you been able to do it? At 26, your friends are 20, 25, they are positive. How have you managed to stay negative?
Like they said before, abasinga bazaalibwa nako, so sijja kubanenya, naye nange saazaalibwa nako naye nfubye okwekuuma. Ekireetedde abamu ku bavubuka abatazaalibwa nakawuka okuba nako, they are so desperate for life. You find that most of them are so materialistic. Kyensaba nti twekuume tubeerewo. Like manya nti nno obulamu butambuze bulungi, bw'oba ozaaliddwa ng'oli mulamu weekuume, ebirungi byonna biri mu maaso, ekyo kyentambulirako.
What advice would you give to your parents? Kuba kati n'abazadde tulina okubayingiza mu fight ya AIDS.
Most of the parents batya okwogera n'abaana baabwe about the sexual education. I think it's time the parents join hands with the government and the community to end HIV.
In summary, what would you appeal to government?
The government involvement should be intensified. You find that they're trying, but then you find that people are still lacking information when it comes to HIV. Stigma and discrimination is still too much, and you find that in the community, people are still failing to seek health services, especially the men. So the government should really talk to the men, like the policies should increase, especially to the men.
What would you tell the local leaders abewa ne Busana, e Kayunga, e waffe yonna bannaffe ab'oku byalo bakole batya?
Basomesa abaana ate bababuulirire. You find that abazadde abasinga omwana bw'akulamu eno mu kyalo amugayaalirira, especially abawala. Oluweza myaka 16 you're ready for marriage because yayagala bintu. So parents bakyuse endowooza.
In the interest of time, Your Excellency, we are going to end this session here, and whatever we have gathered, we'll definitely send it to the Uganda AIDS Commission. Ensonga tugenda zikomya wano ezeetaagisa tugenda zigatta tuziwa aba Uganda AIDS Commission ezikwata wano ku kyalo tuziwe ba MPs. Amannya gange nze Haji Abe Mchibi kulwa bannange mbebaza nnyo mwebali nnyo mwebali ddala.
Mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala tusomesa abaana nga tubalagirira. At this moment I would like to call upon the Director General of Uganda AIDS Commission to come and give a word.
Both the ministers, the minister in charge of the presidency and the Honorable Minister for Health have also been very consistent in terms of support for the interventions that have been designed. Parliament has been exceptional, Your Excellency. We've had, over the last 2 years, we went around the country. At every single session, we had no less than 15 members of Parliament who were with us. So they have been consistent. They have been allocating resources. We've worked with the leadership of Kayunga District to plan this event. I would like to acknowledge especially the chairs of the parliamentary committees, the chair of the HIV/AIDS committee, the chair of the Presidential Affairs Committee, who has been very consistent following up, the chair of the Budget Committee, who is also the local area member of Parliament. He's during the planning phase for this event, he gave us guidance, he followed through, he gave us the links of the people to work with, and that's how we're able to come up with this event. So, Your Excellency, we are looking to you for your continued support as we move. 2020 is a key milestone for us, and there are expectations around not just in Uganda, but also on the African continent and around the globe, because your leadership has been the torchbearer in the fight against HIV. So we look up to you. We are going to move and follow you in, to provide that leadership. We know there is a huge task. Uganda is a young population. You can see the young people here, some of whom have been testifying, and we have that task ahead of us. I thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, sir. At this moment, I would like to call upon Nakachi Azza, the Honorable Member of Parliament of this place, to come and invite the chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee to say a word. Honorable Golobi.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, the Minister in charge of the Presidency, and the Minister in charge of Health, members of Parliament, the Chairman, Uganda AIDS Commission, and the staff of that agency, the distinguished ambassadors, Your Excellencies, development partners, religious and cultural leaders, representatives of local governments, and I want to recognize the chairman of our district, Mr. Tom Serwanga, and the chairman NRM, representatives of persons living with HIV, AIDS, distinguished delegates, and all invited guests, representatives of young people, colleagues, friends, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. First of all, Your Excellency, I want to thank the government of Uganda for considering Kayunga as the most appropriate venue for this year's event. And that is a round of applause you are hearing. Can you please clap for the government? My chairman, LC5, already made a long statement, and I do not intend to make or to duplicate what he has already said. So in the interest of time, I'll just supplement his speech. And I'll do so in Uganda, since the majority of our population here understand Uganda more than they do in English. First of all, I want to say that AIDS, HIV/AIDS, has increasingly become a sleeping giant. Kyenyamba abooluganda nti obulwadde buno obwa AIDS tebukyakanganga edda bwe bwakanganga. Ekyo nno ate kati kyekivuddeko ate obulwadde obunene nnyo. Kwe kugamba AIDS ono afuuse nga empologoma eyeebase. Empologoma we yeebaka tekitegeeza nti teri dangerous. Esigala ya bulabe nnyo singa ova eri n'ogikwatako. N'olwekyo AIDS ono era nga session gye tuvuddemu eya Abe Mukiibi, nga bwe muwulidde nti AIDS waali era akyali wa bulabe nnyo. Principles ze twagobereranga luli ze tulina okusigala nga tugoberera n'olwaleero. Bwe nali njogera ne Director General wa AIDS Commission nga bw'ayogeddeko wano twasisinkana okuteesa ku nteekateeka eno, yampa obujulizi obulaga nti AIDS mu Kayunga yeeyongedde nnyo. Era Kayunga kaakati y'emu ku districts infection rate weri waggulu beyond average. Kwegamba national average bwebeera ku 6%, ate mu Kayunga ali 7.3%. Kitegeeza nti mu Kayunga tetukoze bulungi mu lutalo luno olw'okulwanyisa AIDS. Ekyo nno bubaka bukulu nnyo nga tulina okugoberera abavubuka babadde mu tent wano. Abe Mukiibi babadde nabo ebigambo bye babadde batusomesa era bye batubuulira, kuba bonna babadde bavubuka era boogedde gye tuli bangi kubo mu lulimi lwennyini lwe tutegeera nti ebyo byonna bye tuteekeddwa okukola, okwegalabanja, okumala geewaayo, okugenda ffa, ebyo byonna tulina okulaba nti nno tubirwanyisa mu kitundu kino. Tuleme okukoobera, okubeera emabega mu lutalo luno olw'okulwanyisa AIDS. Nga Kayunga tusaana okubeera ekyokulabirako ekirungi eri bannayuganda. N'olwekyo njagala okubakubira omulanga nti Kayunga nga tubadde tukola bulungi kumpi mu bintu byonna, ate mu lutalo luno tuleme okubeera nga ffe tukoobedde. N'olwekyo nga batukubiriza abo bonna abatannakwatibwa kawuka kano mwongere okwegendereza ennyo. Abo baakwatibwa mulina okukola bye batusobesezza nti nno tufube nnyo okulaba nti tetuva ku ddagala, kuba bw'olivaako obwo obulwadde bwennyini obugenda okutwala ekaganga era ofe bakuziike. N'olwekyo bw'obanga ddala otandise eddagala fuba olibeereko ebbanga lyonna. Ate bw'wabaawo obuzibu weebuuze, kwegamba singa mu prosesi ey'okumira eddagala ofuna obuzibu obw'amaanyi, ddayo eri abasawo obeere nga weebuuza. Ate naawe atannamanya sitetasi yo, genda weekebeze. Kwegamba kiba kirungi nnyo kati gavumenti engeri gye yakkiriza okujjanjaba n'abaakalwala, kiba kirungi nnyo n'omanya nga bukyali era n'osobola okutandika okujjanjabibwa nga obulwadde bukyali. Ensonga endala, twetaaga okufuba okukola ennyo. Kwegamba tuleme okubeera mu mbeera ey'obwavu ennyo, obuteetuusaako ebyo twagala. Tulina okulaba nti nno tulya bulungi, tusimba emmere ennungi, tusimba ebibala, tusimba enva endiirwa. Tubeere nga tubirya buli bbanga, nga tetulya bubi. Amapaapaali tetutunda butuuzi kyokka, naye tutunde nga n'okulya tulyako. Emiyembe tubeere nga tubirya, ebintu ebyo byonna, enva endiirwa tubeere nga tuzisimba era nga tuzirya. Njagala okusaba bannaffe abagaba obuyambi. This is a special request to the development partners and all agencies responsible for fighting this pandemic. It's a special request that since Kayunga is experiencing this problem of a high infection, that you give us a special intervention. We need some level of affirmative action to address this problem. We need a special hand. We already recognize those agencies that we already have in this area, but I think that now that the problem is worsening, we need it will require a special intervention to calm it down. Twetaaga okubanga tukola nnyo ffe ng'abatuuze b'ekitundu kino, okubanga tukola ssente. Tulekeraawo okukyakala ennyo, kubanga oluusi okukyakala ennyo n'okunywa omwenge bye bituviirako empisa embi. N'olwekyo mikwano gyange, okwe kukubiriza kwe njagadde ntuuse gye muli. I thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to pass on that message. Thank you so much for coming to Kayunga once again. And now I want to take this special honor to invite the chairperson HIV/AIDS committee to come and address this gathering. Honorable Nambozo, all the way from Mbale.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, our guest of honor, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, the Minister of the Presidency, Honorable Minister of Health, Members of Parliament present, USC Chair and Director General and staff, the Diplomatic Corps, our implementing partners led by the Chair, the Irish Ambassador, PEPFAR, UNAIDS, UNICEF, among others, our political leaders, religious, cultural, and security houses, not forgetting the media, people living with HIV, the MDAs, ladies and gentlemen, but today we shall include the children. Balamusiza balungi. Balamusiza. Before I give my remarks, Your Excellency, kindly allow me to invite my honorable colleagues, the members of Parliament, to come and say hello to the people of Kayunga.
Nze George Wilson Nsamba Kumama, Member of Parliament, Bale constituency, Muliwana Walugolobi wano. Mwebale nnyo okujja mwena tusimidde ddala Honorable His Excellency. Thank you for coming and grace this occasion.
Thank you, Chair. Your Excellency, Nze Sebikali Joel, MP Ntwetwe, Kyankwanzi District, ndi Vice Chairperson HIV Committee.
Your Excellency, Amaituka Isaac Joaquino, Member of Parliament, Upper Madi County, Madi Okolo District, West Nile Region, a member of HIV and AIDS Committee.
Your Excellency, my name is Julius Achon.
I came all the way from Lango later to come support my brother Bugolobi. And I wanted to compare Kayunga and Lira. I represent people of Botuke in Lango region, and I'm on the committee of HIB.
Your Excellency, protocol observed. Nakaunde Sarah, Umani MP, Mpigi District. I'm a member on the committee of HIV.
Your Excellency, protocol observed. My name is Josephine Bebona Babungi. I represent Bundibujo District. I am serving on the HIV committee in Parliament and also the Committee for Health. Thank you.
Your Excellency, my name is Ashraf Olega. I come from the whole region of West Nile, and I came to give my support to the people of Kayunga.
Musibe mutaba sebo ne banyabo. Amanya gange bampita mukyala na bulindo jeni kuova. Ze woman member of parliament wa Busia district nange ndi ku committee ya HIV and AIDS.
Your Excellency, Musime Muwanga Nsubuga, member of parliament Kasanda South constituency, Kasanda district, and a member of Presidential Affairs Committee.
Your Excellency, I observe the protocol. I am Ababiku Jessica, Woman MP at Jaban District, Chair Presidential Affairs Committee. I am grateful to the people of Kayunga because all your MPs are brilliant, good leaders in this country.
Your Excellency, the Vice President and the guest of honor, honorable member, honorable ministers, all protocol observed. Mwebale eno, pamasaba muliyo, muriena, mwanyala kuita. I'm Rose Mutonyi Masaba, Banakayunga ndoza banzijukira mwao.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, ministers present, members of parliament, protocol observed. My name is Kamgo Pamela Nasio. I am the woman member of parliament for Budaka district, and I'm the chairperson, Uganda Women Parliamentary Association. Abagwere mulyanu, kwezeyo, banange ngiziranu, nziza okubegattako, nga tujjukira olunaku n'olwaleero, nga tujjukira bannaffe abaatuvaako mu bulamu olw'akawuka aka HIV AIDS. Mwebale kujja, abakalina munyikire okumira eddagala, abatakalina bannange mwekuume, abazadde abaana bakomyewo, ke kaseera twogere n'abaana baffe. Let's open up, tubabuulire challenge gye tulina. Government ekoze ogwayo, naawe omusawo, naawe omuzadde, naawe omwana akola ogugwo.
Wenanga oli mulamu wubako omukono bwoti, ng'ogamba Mukama nti weebalenze ndi mulamu, ne bwe kaba mwekali olwaleero nkyassa, ne bwe mba nga ndi mulwadde olwaleero wano wendi, wuba omukono nkulabe naawe. Wali abali mu ddwaliro ng'omukka bakabaka mubake, ate gwe wooli wano. Amina. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Your Excellency, you will allow me to speak the local language because I intend to communicate to the community. Abalungi nze Wamala Nambozo Florence, Mayoga omukyala akiikirira abantu b'e Sironko Parliament, Sironko ebeera Bugisu oba Mbaale. Ndi Mugisu wawu, ate nze chairperson owa HIV AIDS mu Parliament. Kyenva nsabye okwogera Oluganda, nsobole okwogera eri mmwe. Abo abakulu tusisinkana eri si wano. Amiina. Anti olwaleero lwa Sande. Abaana mwebale kujja. Abaana mwebale kujja. Mubeeko ku mikono mbalaba abalungi. Abazadde abaana abo mbalaba. Do we have heads of schools here? Do we have teachers present? We once had a program called PSA. What happened? Is it there? How strong is it? How vocal is it? Abaana bano twalinga twogera ku bigambo bya sirimu ku masomero ne tugamba abaana okutambula nga beegendereza nga kiri mu masomero kitandikira eri wansi. Kye mbadde mbuuza abasomesa nti olwaba abasomesa mbeegayiridde tuguddemu omulamwa tugwogereko kubanga obudde butuli bubi. Mugirabe enkuba nti eneetera okutonnya. Kati atalina umbrella oba atayimidde wansi wa tent. Mulaba obuzibu obuliwo? Muntegeera gye ŋŋenda? Baŋŋambye enyanguweko. Njagala kwogera ku community engagement. Abalungi baffe abakulembeze mu community. Abalungi abakulembeze ffenna gye tuli mu communities zaffe twogera ku nsonga eno. Obudde bwakyukako. Government egezezzaako. Mubalabye ba implementing partners, mubalabye abazungu. Mubakubireko mu ngalo. Kuba engalo zinoge mukwano nkubuulire. Wano e Uganda tulina ensonga ey'emisolo. Emisolo bwe gijja ebeera nsonga nnene nnyo, naye aweewaabwe bakuŋŋaanya emisolo ne bagireeta. Muwulira pefa ogwo gw'abazungu Americans bakuŋŋaanya musolo gwe batuleetera ffe tujjanjabwe. Muwulidde Irish Aid, Irish Ambassador yesterday najja. Ogwo musolo, that's taxpayers money. Mbeegayiridde tuteekeeko empisa. Ffe bwe bazireetera batwetaaza mpisa. Kubanga bo ssente zaabwe abantu balina okusasula omusolo babaagala oba tebaagala. Oba bayomba oba tebayombye balina okuwaayo omusolo ate baguggyeko bagutuleetere ffe bannayuganda. Lwaki tetwebaza Mukama? Lwaki tetuteekamu empisa ne bazituleetera nga za birala? Mumpulira? Ogwo musolo wano e Uganda olumu tetwagala kusasula musolo. Nze member wa parliament. Kamalirize nga ngenda ku bazadde abaana baawumudde. Abaana mbabuulirire, abaana abawala abo bazzeeka. Ffe Bugisukano lyagenda kutandika omwaka guno ogujja. Mubuulirire abaana mbayigirize emirimu. Mubawe ebyokukola abaana mubaleka ne bataayaaya butaayaaya. N'abaako abagamba nti jangu tugende eno wamma. Waakomawo nga mufaanana. Bw'aba tazze na lubuto akomawo n'empisa ndala. Bwe zitaba mpisa siriimu, bw'ataba siriimu byonna. Gwe omuzadde omwana omulese genda olimeko naye amanye nti ziva wala. Bwe bazimuweeza amangu bagamba is a come is a what? Is a go. Bw'anaasasula z'atakola anaazijjawa. Amiina. Abantu mwenna abali ku stores mwebale kujja. Naye mmwe mukola emirimu mu bitundu byaffe ne mutuleka nga mutulese bulala. Mutuweeyo ke bayita social corporate responsibility. Olumu muleka abaana baffe mubataagudde. Mumpulidde? Nze manyi bawulidde. Bannange mukubireko abayimbi mu ngalo. Mubalaba wano. Bonna abayimbi olwali twogera ku Fire Bongole. Eyayogera ku sirimu ffe nga tukyatya. Naye naawe atulugunya omuntu afunye obulwadde obadde otya? Lwaki olowooza nti gwe ensi yo? Abantu abo tubalabirire. Abantu tubalaga okwagala. Fire Bongole yagamba nga mmaliriza nti no loving arms thrown around my neck. Encha lwani. Mwebale nnyo okumpuliriza. Mwebale kujja temwerabira ekigambo ky'empisa olumu kye kitutaasa. I now want to take this singular honor to invite the Honorable Minister of Health to come and give her remarks. I thank you for listening to me.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, our chief guest this afternoon, my colleague, the Minister for Presidency, honorable members of Parliament present, His Excellency, the Irish Ambassador to Uganda, Mr. William Carlos, His Excellency, the Ambassador of South Sudan to Uganda, Mr. Sam Duku Michael, the cultural leaders present here, our development partners, the Chair HIV Committee of Parliament, LC5 chairpersons here present, the Resident District Commissioner, the Chair Uganda AIDS Commission, the Director Generals Uganda AIDS Commission and Ministry of Health, the Chief Administrative Officer and all the technical people, our implementing partners, government officials, civil society organizations, and the young people. Today, the 1st of December 2019, Uganda joins the rest of the world to commemorate the World AIDS Day. This is the 31st time since 1988 when the world started commemorating this day. We have come a long way since then in responding to the HIV epidemic in our country. On this occasion, Your Excellency, the Ministry of Health salutes all the people of Uganda, the communities, and our international development partners for the achievements we have made in the struggle against this epidemic. Your Excellency, commemorating the World AIDS Day brings us together to affirm our collective solidarity with the people living with and affected by HIV, and to remember and honor those who have lost their lives due to this disease along the way. It is also an opportunity for us to rededicate our collective efforts to ending this scourge that has caused so much suffering to humankind. Your Excellency, this year's national theme of empowering young people to champion the end of new HIV infections rhymes well with the global theme of engaging communities. Young people constitute a sizable proportion of communities affected by the HIV epidemic. Adolescents and young people continue to be at the forefront of risk and vulnerability to HIV. For instance, in Uganda, young people aged 15 to 24 years account for over 1/3 of all new HIV infections, with the number of new HIV infections among young women 4 times that among their male counterparts. The vulnerability of young people is driven by engagement in high-risk sexual behaviors, including cross-generation sex, inadequate comprehensive knowledge on HIV, inequitable access to friendly HIV prevention and treatment services, and disproportionate share of sexual gender-based violence. In addition, Your Excellency, young people living with HIV often have poor access to HIV testing services, linkage to HIV treatment, adherence and retention in care, and subsequently lower viral suppression compared to adults. Therefore, empowering young people to champion the end of new infections is critical if we are to optimize our current approaches to achieve and sustain the HIV epidemic control. Young people, when appropriately empowered, are best suited and effective in reaching out to fellow young people in all domains of HIV prevention, care, and treatment. And we all witnessed this when they had an engagement in the tent right behind here. That is why Uganda has adopted this year's global theme to focus on empowering communities of youth in ending new HIV infections. The Ministry of Health is intensifying efforts to reach more young people with HIV prevention, care, and treatment services, and is differentiating its services to better suit their needs. We believe this approach will address the barriers young people face in access and uptake of HIV prevention and treatment services. This year, 2019, we rolled out the Young People Adolescent Peer Support Model to ensure that our services are more friendly and accessible to young people. We are now seeing more HIV-infected young people being diagnosed and enrolled on treatment, retained on treatment, and supported to adhere in order to achieve viral suppression. At the same time, more than ever before, the young people are more targeted to benefit from the government livelihood support programs and hence reduce their vulnerability, economic dependence, unemployment, stay longer in schools, and ultimately reduced risky sexual behaviors. Your Excellency, the Ministry has embraced the UNAIDS Fast Track Strategy for ending AIDS with the ambitious targets, including the 90-90-90 targets for HIV prevention services. By the end of financial year 2018-19, Uganda was well on track to meet the ambitious HIV testing and treatment cascade targets, with 89% of the people living positively knowing their status, 89% of them enrolled on ART, and 88% of those on ART had achieved HIV viral suppression. The total number of people currently on ART has increased to approximately 1.2 million people out of the 1.4 million people that are HIV infected. During July 2018 to June 2019, over 7.3 million individuals were screened for HIV, among whom nearly 250 tested HIV positive, and of these, 85% were linked and started on treatment. Your Excellency, as I conclude, the Ministry of Health remains committed to achieving HIV epidemic control, and the coming year will be critical to the attainment of the set targets. The Ministry will focus on strengthening the national and regional level capacity to manage and coordinate the public HIV response, with a focus to increasing the technical capacity of the district health teams to be more accountable for every individual person living with HIV identified and enrolled on treatment, retained, virally suppressed, and reported upon upstream. We shall continue to expand and improve quality of our prevention, care, and treatment programs with a focus on population subgroups, including children, adolescents, and young women, men, key and priority populations, focusing on the geographical burden. We call upon all stakeholders to give young people and communities a chance, space, and the required resources to make the realization of an AIDS-free generation during our time. Lastly, I wish to appreciate the government, our development partners, implementing partners, civil society, and all the young people for your commitment to achieve epidemic control and end AIDS by 2030. I wish you all the best as we commemorate the World AIDS Day. It is now my pleasure to invite my colleague, the Minister for Presidency, to make her statement.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, Edward Chiwanka Ssekandi, the Honorable Minister of Health, the Honorable Members of Parliament present, His Excellency, the Irish Ambassador, His Excellency, the Ambassador of South Sudan, the Honorable, the family of Philly Bongole Dutaya, present. Representatives of the AIDS Development Partner. Representatives of government agencies present. Chairperson of the and commissioners, Uganda AIDS Commission. The National Chairperson of the Women's Council. The LC5 chairpersons present. The Resident District Commissioner of Kayunga. Local leaders, civil society, representatives of people living with HIV, all invited guests in your respective capacities, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as my colleague has said, the 1st of December 2019 is World AIDS Day. The World AIDS Day global theme is Communities Make Difference. This is in recognition of the important leadership and advocacy done by communities to ensure that the response remains relevant and grounded. However, the World AIDS Day theme for Uganda is engaging young people to champion the end of new HIV infections. Our focus on young people is because they constitute an important sector of the community and also comprise the majority of Ugandan population. Furthermore, in Uganda, young people aged 15 to 24 are responsible for 38% of the new HIV infection annually. This year, the national commemoration was ushered in by the Fide Rutaya Public Memorial Lecture on the 29th of November 2019, which was focused on how to sustain the HIV response post-2020. It is more than 3 decades since Uganda first described the first HIV cases on the shores of Lake Victoria. Back then, it was known as Sirim because of how it presented with severe weight loss, among other symptoms. Initially, there were several myths associated with AIDS, some attributing to witchcraft. One of the earliest strategies adopted by Uganda was the multisectoral AIDS coordination approach in 1992, and Uganda AIDS Commission was created by a parliamentary act under the Office of the President and mandated with the coordination of the prevention and control of HIV and AIDS in Uganda. During the World AIDS Day, we would like to use this occasion to reflect on so many achievements, recognize our challenges, and remind our communities that HIV is still with us. It has no cure, and therefore we need to remain vigilant to prevent new infections if we are to end HIV/AIDS by 2030. The rollout of the Presidential Fast Track Initiative resulted into engagements with local residents through community dialogues that allowed interface with the policymakers and implementers to agree on areas that needed urgent action. Putting people's voice into HIV/AIDS programming and planning and involvement of the local people was at the center of rolling out the presidential initiative. The communities were positioned to take center stage at every community forum to identify all major bottlenecks that were hindering effective HIV/AIDS service delivery programs. The presidential initiative embraced a unique and efficient mobilization strategy that transcended political, religious, cultural, age, gender, and other barriers in order to deliver on the President's directive. Examples of other approaches include the cultural institutions under their umbrella network of Forum for Kings have been mobilizing their subjects to denounce negative practices that escalate HIV transmission. The Interreligious Council that coordinates all regions, denominations, embraced the President's directive and developed the pastoral letter that has embedded the President's message in their ceremonies and activities. All these and more are a clear indication that this is a battle that is going to be won by a single institution, that is not going to be won by a single institutions, but by all of us working together as a team. I thank His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for his visionary leadership and tireless efforts in the fight against HIV and AIDS. On behalf of the government, I want to thank the development partners who have supported us during this long journey. The government of Uganda is reviewing how best to ensure that the HIV response is sustainably managed going forward. We are committed to support the implementation of the proposed interventions to sustain the response. It is possible to end AIDS by 2030. It is possible. It will require the commitment, the support and involvement of everyone. It is therefore important for all players to understand that we all have a stake as individuals, households, and community. All our efforts together will enable us to achieve the common goal. I acknowledge the contribution of the implementing partners, other government agencies and departments, the cultural institutions, the faith-based organizations, people living with HIV/AIDS, private sector, the media, the civil society, young people who have been part of the national HIV response. I thank the members of parliament for your support to the government programs and particularly the national HIV response. I would like to most sincerely appreciate the leadership of Kayunga local government for all the preparations and for allowing us to host this function in Kayunga. I want to thank all the partners, especially the Embassy of Ireland, for supporting this event and the Uganda AIDS Commission for coordinating. I say this for God and my country. Your Excellency, before I invite you, I want to recognize the presence of the Fire Bongole Lutaya family, and there is a son, Fire Bongole Lutaya son, I've seen around. Please come over and shake hands with the president if he's around. Your Excellency, it is now my honor and privilege to invite you to address and deliver the World AIDS Day message to the nation. I want to thank you.
The Honorable Minister for Presidency, Honorable Minister for Health, Honorable Members of Parliament present, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and the High Commission to Uganda, and members of diplomatic corps, heads of agencies, the Chairman LC5 Kayunga, and district leaders, RDC Kayunga, members of the Internal Religious Council in Uganda, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to represent His Excellency the President, who was supposed to be the guest of honor, but because of other unforeseen reasons, he has been unable to come, and they sent me to represent him. He passed over his statement to me to deliver the same on his behalf. Please allow me to proceed. I take this opportunity to welcome you to this occasion as we commemorate the World AIDS Day 2019. Since the early 1980s, when the first AIDS cases were first reported, Uganda's policy and approach has been characterized by a policy of openness spearheaded at the highest level of government. Government of Uganda recognized in the very early phase of the epidemic that HIV/AIDS posed a development challenge to the country. Although the freedom fighters had defeated dictatorship and murderous regimes, we were now faced with a new challenge of HIV/AIDS. The NRM government knew that if not addressed, the AIDS scourge would greatly affect national growth and development because both labor and market would be severely affected. We created the Uganda AIDS Commission to coordinate the efforts of all sectors because, again, we quickly realized that AIDS was not just a public health problem, but ran across all the sectors, both public and non-public. Indeed, our model has been duplicated all over the African continent. One of the key underlying drivers of HIV/AIDS is poverty, which may lead to gender-based violence and therefore contribute to HIV infections. That is why our emphasis has been universal primary and secondary education and access to technical vocation training to create life skills relevant to the labor market. Our focus and investments in infrastructure, including energy, partly addresses this problem, because once we reduce poverty and inequality, then vulnerability to AIDS infection will also reduce. A critical point recognized as priority by the country is that while women are targeted as particularly vulnerable and disadvantaged group, men have a key role to play in infections designed to reach and benefit women. In particular, it is indicated that a meaningful decrease in AIDS risk in Uganda society will require changes in male behaviors and attitudes concerning gender relationship and sexuality. In particular, norms, values, practice, and relation between men and women create situations and sites, alcohol, drinking, visits to bars, discourse, and social infection with increased risk of social transmission of AIDS infection. As a priority, our prevention efforts should focus on customs and traditions which are a pattern of behavior that is transmitted from one generation to another. Customs form the core of human culture and should be conserved. The negative customs and traditions should be highly defeated, and cultural institutions should be utilized to save mankind. Traditional practices such as widow inheritance, polygamy, and wife sharing are significant factors in HIV transmission. Our efforts are geared towards the promotion of behavior change, especially among the young people. Behavior change should focus not only on the individual behavior, but will equally focus on the collective behaviors and the norms and values of community. It is necessary to give first priority to children and youth, and to start addressing norms and values right from school entry, gradually making it more specific as the child grows. I urge all of you to disseminate right information on radios, TVs, telephones, newspapers, theaters, short films, songs, posters, etc. I call upon all Ugandans from individual, family, and community to wake up to the call. Ending AIDS requires personal commitment, and all of us should be role models. And he said, I thank you for God and my time.
Sebo, Your Excellence, nsaba groups ibiri zokka bweziti zikwentertainingeko.
Lelo luno twababuse championi owa Africa. Yekamanda mudumizi weje tusonge tumuranyise agende new HIV infection tumuko bagende for good. Umeua wazazi na marafiki wote, wewe adui hatari wavunja maendeleo. Tumuranyise agende new HIV infection tumuko bagende for good. Umeua wazazi na marafiki wote, wewe adui hatari wavunja maendeleo. Tupangalikwe kulona sirimu wakudiba, kula bagenda abange sirimba wakufumwa. Bobo wenzi abamubuka tubufule chenye nyaraba.
Bago basirimu balage.